What speed is appropriate to use on my Dremel when doing dogs' nails? Hi guys, my name's Colleen. Welcome to Good Dog Grooming. The best answer I can give you is if you're somewhere in this range roughly and it's working for you and your dog, you're doing good. Keep it up. Generally, when people talk about speed on a rotary tool, they're talking about RPM. RPM is revolutions per minute, a unit of rotational speed or rotational frequency for rotating machines. All that means is how many times this head goes all the way around within the span of 1 minute. So in general with dremeling, higher speeds allow you greater success with lighter pressure and more control and things like that. Now the problem is we're dealing with live animals, and higher speeds equal louder noise and kind of a higher frequency noise, and it just freaks them out. So as groomers, we're always trying to kind of strike that balance of using an appropriate speed that isn't just gonna make the dog panic. Here's my Dremel 7300. Here's what it sounds like on high. Here's what it sounds like on low. So you can see how if you had a dog that was very sensitive to noise, you might have more success on low, or you might train them with the low setting and then step up to higher settings. So in a sense, we're trying to use the highest RPM that dog will tolerate without going completely nuts, because a lot of corded Dremels have higher RPM potential, but you introduce a level of danger at some point where if hair were to get caught, it would just get ripped out at an extremely high RPM, and it's just unnecessarily powerful. So while there does seem to be an appropriate and functional RPM range that works for doing dogs' nails, the real answer is the one that works best for you and your dog. Now, I will tell you, based on the 4 tools that I have the most experience with and the different speed settings that they have, what I prefer to use on a dog's nails, and see if that helps you to choose. All right, so I've got a couple of 5-speed tools listed, one variable speed that is very comparable to a 5-speed, and one 2-speed, which is the one I use the most simply because it's the one I own. When I'm using the Hyper Tough, I tend to land on the 4th speed. The reason I have question marks on these RPMs is because I looked up the RPM for this and it only lists the low and the high. So I just made some educated guesses on what 2, 3, and 4 are. When I use the Dremel Lite, it's a variable speed, which means it really just has a slider on the side. When the slider is all the way up, it's on high, 25,000 RPM. When the slider's all the way down, it's on low. And if you set it somewhere in the middle, it's anybody's guess. When I use the Dremel Lite, I find that I like it a little bit above the middle. So we're gonna call that 4 as well. And when I used to use the Dremel Micro, which was a great tool and is now discontinued, I almost always would turn it on and then notch it up 1 time to put it on the 4th setting. Now on my Dremel MiniMite, it's only a 2-speed. I do tend to use it on high almost always. So based on this, I've extracted a very rough range that you could use as a guideline if you're interested, which is 10,000 at the low end and 25,000 RPM at the high end. Now really there's still some flexibility there because I do occasionally use mine on low. It's just very slow. And so you could even go as low as these 5,000 and 6,500. And the Dremel Micro I did occasionally use on high, and that's 28,000. So this is still just a rough range that is meant to be a guideline. So that's all I got for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.